is the bravest person in here.
I think it's
That will ask.
name, maybe?
The very first
That's
question.
why
Wow, she was a split second faster. We're gonna go here and then my man in the back with a really cool silver hair.
Okay, this is to all. Am I doing this right? This is to all the panelists. What are your core values that you live your life by and why?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Wisdom, discipline, purpose, freedom, and excellence. Wisdom, discipline, purpose, freedom, and excellence. Those are my core values. Just because really everything that I'm doing really has to do with one of those things, you know.
For me, just to simplify it, I think everything with purpose, and I talk about that a lot in the sense that if I'm going to tie my shoes, I'm going to tie them properly so that they do what they're supposed to do. Otherwise, you're half-assing whatever it is you're doing, right? So everything is purpose-driven. If today's Dad Day, we're going to have the best Dad Day possible, right? I'm going to give that the most value, the most purposeful intent, and that's how I see it. When I have time, when we have a small conversation like you and I had, I was completely immersed in what we were talking about because the whole point was to give it value and purpose, right?
There's a quote that I always say, stillness is death. And every now and then I get people, but stillness can also provide you centering yourself and you can concentrate. What I mean by stillness is death, I think there's an entropy in thinking that you know everything, thinking that what you are is the best place you can be, and thinking that you already have everything you need. Or that you know everything you need to know. I find, like, I'm afraid, whenever I find out that I found, like, this is everything, there is no of this. It's like, for me, there's a mourning in that.
Yeah.
There's a sadness.
It's like heartbreak.
Yeah.
So it's a deep question, right?
Yeah.
I think for me, was based on which season of my life. When I was young, everything was really lower than now. Everything was in the middle line. Everything was in this area. And I was looking just for adrenaline and cool stuff and, you know, less brain balls. Then with the other season and a lot of mistakes and a lot of payment for mistakes and a lot of pain and prizes, especially after my first got my daughter, I started to change a point of view. So basically I try to be a good man.
For me, the way I look at it is, I'm gonna say some cliche things, right? But it's only cliche if you don't believe it. I think it's, you know, to me, this is the way I live my life. I think treat people the way you want to be treated. Number one, because you don't know who these people are, and even though we're sitting here as a panel of instructors or subject matter experts, we don't put ourselves higher than you guys. We don't put ourselves separate from you guys. Like I told you guys when I was talking, I'm one of you, right? I just took a different path in my life.
Well, the cool stuff's already been said. Can't use the dance thing, can't use that. Can't treat other people, can't use that. All right, so for me, I'm not gonna talk a long time. Those of you who know me know that I don't. I do a lot of listening. That's what you should do. Listen to people. I don't care what level you think you placed them at. Listen to people, what they have to say. I heard this a long time ago, and it made a lot of sense to me. When you see that little baby crying, something horrible is going on in that baby's world right now. To you, it might be an annoyance, but something horrible is happening right here, right now. And that's kind of how I think of a lot of people that are going through different troubles and things like that. They might be going through something horrible right now. Listen to people, what they have to say.
COVID just happened, and there's a bunch of gun owners out there.
Just like that.
And every now and then I see interactions online with people with gun owners getting burned, grilled, just people, you know, making fun of shit because, you know, access to the holster, you know, why would you buy the gun, you know, why does it have this Punisher on and all that shit. And it is what it is, you know, but these guys are, nobody knows. Nobody's born knowing, you know. As somebody that's not from here, when I came to this country and my vision of the U.S., you know, you have this old America shooting guns into the air on one side, wearing a bomb with the U.S. flag on it. And on the other side, you have a homeowner that has a gun and somebody got into his house and he defended his family.
We need to explain that firearms are not dangerous. There are people that are behind the firearms that can make them dangerous. But this happened, with a, look at here, 1997. UK banned completely the firearms for civilians. Statistics. Now, UK is the first country in the European area, even if they're not anymore inside the European community, are country #1 for violent crimes. Knives everywhere. We have to involve people inside. We need to educate people. We need to push them to approach in the proper way the firearm education, the gun culture.
Two quick things here. 9 times out of 10, the anti-gun crowd, if they end up shooting a weapon, they love it. If you can get them in there to do it, they completely change.
It's true.
It takes that fear away from it. The whole thing comes down to fear. Last thing is I had a neighbor at one point that was not really aligned with my political views, and they were completely against a lot of things I was for. And I listened to what they said, just like I told you guys earlier. And I said to them at the end, I understand we're not on the same page, but if you do ever have any problems, because we had a problem in the area we were living with car burglaries and things like that, don't hesitate to call me.
One thing I do with my kids when I want to introduce them to these things, including firearms, is I don't make it taboo. I don't make my guns taboo. I lock them, I keep them safe. None of them are loaded except for the one that I keep loaded for home defense. But even when my girls were like 2, 3, the boys were young toddlers, I would sit there and break my weapons apart and I would let them play with the parts. I wouldn't say, oh, don't touch that. I wouldn't say that because you know what that does later on, right? When the cat's away, the mice play. So don't make these things taboo because that's exactly what the other side is doing. They're already doing that. Everything we do on this side is taboo.
How did I select these guys? A lot of it, it's good, man. Instagram, right? I was gonna crack a joke, but it wasn't as good as Grindr. No, so honestly, it's
Wish.com too.
Wish.com. No, it's a mixture between my own experience, watching a lot of their content over years and having my own experience with war and tactics and executive protection internationally and all that stuff to be able to see like, boom, that's really good and that's what people need right now. You guys are gonna walk to a car tonight at some point. You're in a site of structure right now at some point. People are governments possibly are trying to disarm us. And so everything has its competence. And if you have a pocket knife on you, you better know how to defend it and stop someone else from taking it from you. So there's the competence. I just looked at what was most pertinent right now. Who are the best people to teach it? Street credit is huge in this industry. And then having a little bit of experience and a few things to be able to say, these guys actually know what they're talking about.
It's been a privilege being here, by the way. Thank you all so much. It's been great even training with some of these guys, so I'm stoked. My question is, how do each of you inspire the women in your lives to adopt this lifestyle and mindset? And then how do you keep them motivated and progressive in this?
Nice. I think we generally will gravitate toward people that have similar views. I still can't figure out how individuals, couples with completely differing political views can stand each other or even be in the same room. Some of you may be in that scenario. I'm glad. I hope it works for you. I can't. So for me, I don't have to do a whole lot because we have so much in common. I think my mindset and my wife's mindset is so similar. I don't have to do much to motivate her. Maybe she motivates me sometimes into different things to think, you know what, I should probably do more of this or teach her more of that. Or, I think sometimes it goes the other way where I see the interest and I know, what, we should maybe get out of that range today.
Why it's so important for women to have these self-defense skills, because you guys are way more vulnerable than we are, right? And we talk about how it doesn't matter how strong you guys are or how fit you are or the image projection that you give out to people. The fact that you're a woman is going to make you 100 times more prone to that than for us, right? Or any of these other men. So it's using that kind of common sense. And then obviously the rest of it is just look at what's going on in the world today, right? Look at that woman that got killed in Memphis. She was out on a run, right? And we know Memphis is a shitty town, right? And like she shouldn't have been running at 5 in the morning. Oh, that's kind of crazy. But like it happened, right? And it happened, and she never thought that was going to happen. But to me, it's just like, look, I can't protect you all the time. I can't be there with you all the time. I need you to have, if not the application, the technical application of it, I need you to have the mindset at the minimum and have that situational awareness and not make yourself look like a soft target.
I never forced her to do nothing. So she is starting a path in terms of shooting. We work it a lot in terms of, I try to explain that because many times I'm out and she's alone with the kids, this is not something, it's not anymore a choice, it's something that is mandatory. Now, we have to say that we live in a really safe place, and sometimes this is even worse because it doesn't generate the needs.
The way I do it is it's very playful, and I'm super energetic about everything that I do, so it's almost like she's forced to deal with me and like practicing against the wall and the mats in the garage. And I fight the wall. I win every time.
Baptism by fire.
That's the only time I win anything. You know? Fight, because it's an imaginary friend.
Does it help? Does it help with like when you have like some sort of like disagreement?
Well, no, because the disagreements then are the fucking holes in the wall. And I gotta fix that shit, right? It's like she made me write Kyle one time in one of the holes. I go home and I'll show videos of the stuff that we do, and so that's one fold, right? I show how interested I am in the same ideas that I want to get her into it. So then she starts to see the interest. The kids are all about it, right? Because they're rambunctious. So then they do it, like he was saying with his, and so then it becomes like a household thing, right? And then I gave her an example. I was like, hey, if I gave you this gun to defend yourself, would you want 1 bullet or 2? Right? What would everybody choose?
Well,
2. This is all you get, 1 or 2. What do you want?
2.
2, right?
I know we like to focus on the hard skills, but really understanding the soft skills of situational awareness, like that tactical positioning, context, rolling risk assessment. You understand that stuff, you're gonna avoid and make yourself a hard target already. And if you're doing those things, you probably have a plan. Okay, where do I do? What am I gonna do? You know what? I'm gonna walk into this Starbucks crossroad. I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna leave. So understanding that the soft skills really do give you a lot of protection is part of the empowerment process. And the whole thing is an empowerment process. So the soft skills, boom, that empowers you. And then teaching them that if you learn these skills, you can become formidable. Actually, there's hope for you to completely defend yourself and your family. Once they understand it's possible, then they see how empowering it is and how you don't have to live in fear anymore. And then especially as men and as protectors, when we're on the road, what good are we if we haven't led our family, in a way that they can protect themselves? It is our duty to the people that we love. And that's kind of how I position it. And so with that, there's no questions. I go to work, that's my duty. I provide, those are my duties. And then my wife provides what she provides, and those are her duties, and protection's part of that.
Boom! It's finally here. Go to protectornation.com to join the Protector Nation community. Learn online and become part of our Protector Nation family. I look forward to seeing you guys there and for us all to join forces to make the world a safer place by helping good people to become more dangerous. I'll see you there, and until then, be peaceful but not harmless.